Hey, welcome back, guys. Today we'll be working on a Kina Kawasaki Walboro carburetor for your standard or typical zero turns. Um, this is a Kawasaki, came off a Kawasaki engine, but Walboro also is a name brand, which is, I guess, combined with Kawasaki. Anyways, the problem I'm having is, like before, the very first video, when I was running it, you had that slight popping. At low idle, with not a big load, it's fine, it's smooth, but you can't be running the mower at a lower idle. When I crank the idle up to full RPM, that's when I notice every once in a while you'll hear that popping. So we're gonna pull the carburetor out. I did the valves, checked the valves, readjusted the valves. That didn't solve the issue. Put new coils in it. That didn't solve the issue. Now I'm down to the carburetor. So we're gonna rip this apart. And when I pulled the line out, I noticed there was some dirt coming out. So I can guarantee this thing's probably clogged. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing today. Ripping this carburetor apart. Not too many videos out there on YouTube, especially with this carburetor too. You can see Walboro's right under there, and Kawasaki. So first things first, this is your fuel shutoff. You can easily test this, right, with no special tools, just the key in the ignition. Plug this. It's a little breezy over here. Happy 4th of July too, by the way. So anyways, plug this in, turn the key on, but make sure the ground wire is connected to one of the bolts, and this little plunger will go up and down. When it's popped up like this, that means it's shutting off the fuel. Now when you turn the key on, it'll just go down. So by shutting off the key on and off, it'll go up and down. A lot of times I've seen these get stuck full of varnish. So step one, if you notice when you shut your motor off and you got fuel pouring out the thing, leading cause is this. So, by the way, to get this off, you're gonna need a 1/2-inch wrench or a 13 mil. Now, a typical wrench is not gonna fit in between here. You're gonna have to take your grinder and make a custom wrench. So you want to shave this and get it nice and smooth so it'll fit right in between. I'm sure they have a special wrench for this, but this is the easy way out. Yeah, let's pull this bowl out. Let me put you in for a closer look. Alright, so got the bowl, flat screwdriver, put it right in the crack, and just pry it open. Careful not to damage the rubber O-ring inside of here. But looking inside this bowl, it's not looking too bad. Little junk and debris. But sometimes the smallest amount of grit is good enough to cause problems. Alright, checking out this float. Typically this pin's supposed to come out. Alright, let me go get a pair of pliers. Alrighty guys, I got the pin out for the float bowl. This pair of pliers, and All you do is grab the end really tight and just twist it out and pull at the same time. That was probably the snuggest pin I've ever encountered. So here's a float needle. That looks pretty good. Typically, if you had a bad float needle, you can see this. Where's that stupid camera? But anyways, there's a little tip on the float needle. You always want that to be perfectly pointy. If it's slight point, then it kind of like fades in and comes out. You would want to replace that. That would also indicate a bad needle. It almost looked like there was carbon built up on it for a second. I was like, what the hell? But anyways, it looks pretty clean in there. Besides the where the intake is, that's pretty dirty and nasty. Just trying to figure out my issue here. Got a little bit of blackness up in here. I don't know if you can see it. I wonder if it's backfiring through the carb. It almost sounds like it's just like it needs more fuel issue. It's driving me nuts. I gotta fix it. Well, let's pop this cap off. I know these usually the leading cause on the Honda engines. Alright guys, so I cleaned the carburetor. I kind of like just stopped the video. I was kind of getting a little mad. Just want to get my motor running. So I figured, let me put it back together. There's not really much in it. It's just a bowl and that little shut-off valve, and pretty much just grab carburetor clean kit. Let's see. These little buggers. You can buy these anywhere, Amazon, eBay. They're just a carb clean brushes, and they got all kinds of different various sizes. So pretty much just use that, put it through all the little ports. And I was looking at the carb, and I'm like, man, this thing's not really that dirty. It's a little dirty, but I've seen much worse. But sometimes just the littlest dust, speck of grain can mess it up. But then I was assembling this thing back together, and I happened to notice the gasket for the intake was sticking out further than usual. I was like, I looked at the other side. I was like, that one looks fine. It's just a twin cylinder. I'm like, well, I'm gonna bolt it up the head. That gasket looked like it blew. So that would explain the air seeping in and causing the lean pop. So I ripped out the intake manifold, and lo and behold, here's the gasket. Alright guys, so when this thing was sitting in its normal spot, let's see if I can redo this. You see how, I need like a pointer. I see how like this gasket is sticking way out like that. The other side, see that's not sticking out as much. It's only a little tab. That's all you're supposed to have, is just a little tab. Whole gasket's like sticking out the backside of it. And I was like, whoa, that looks like the gasket blew. Sure enough, I unbolted it, and it was busted like that. Yep. So that explains the popping I'm getting. So I'm gonna try to go to the store and get some gasket maker, make a new gasket, put it back together, and it should definitely 100% fix the issue. that was correct. And then I'll order some genuine Kawasaki gaskets for this thing. But it's 4th of July right now, and there's no lawnmower shops open right now. So homemade gasket for now, just to 100% make sure that this is the problem, which I know, guarantee it is. You can see right here too. All right, you see that? The intake. All right, see how it's all nice and clean? You look over here. See all the black? That was where it was escaping out of. And it was only doing on like high idle, not so much on low idle, but when you put a load on it, it would pop a little bit. And yeah, that's where I was getting that lean pop from. Yep, wasn't sealing. So let's go to the store and get that part, and we'll continue this video.